Hello VAT, back with the third installment of mutating the word mutate. Text, just like any other shapes, once you create outlines, it's easy to move anchor points and paths to get the letters to look exactly how you want them to, so we can customize stuff. We're working on this T, or to the second T in the word mutated, and what we're going to do is we're going to add horns to the word, to the letter T. We have to add anchor points to the top of the T so that it has more joints or elbows or whatever you want to call it, so that we can change the outline of this shape. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the add anchor point tool. It's easy to get to the anchor point tool if you just hit plus on your keyboard, but it also can be found by clicking and holding the mouse button down on the pen tool to open up the gallery, and here you see the add anchor point tool. You have to select the text or the shape that you want to add anchor points to. Once it's selected, it's easy to create anchor points on your path. If you miss the path, it's going to yell at you, so you have to make sure that you are adding these points to a selected path. The outline of this T will do nicely. I added 3 anchor points for each horn because when I use the direct selection tool to move the center anchor point to rise out of the T, I need these other anchor points to keep the base, the bottom of the horn, planted in the head of, in the shape of the T. So I'm moving these shapes up. Additionally, what I would like you guys to try out is to select the anchor point that we just pulled up using the direct selection tool and converting it from a corner, which it is right now, to what is called a smooth anchor point, and that will put these handlebars on it. Right now this looks like a bunny ear sort of, so it's rounded, but the important thing is that we have this anchor point that we can manipulate. So I'm holding down Alt right now and clicking on the side of this handlebar so that it breaks it in half. I can let go of Alt once it's broken, and I can adjust this other. So I'm moving those handlebars one at a time, basically. So I'm adding, I'll do that again for this one. So I'm adding or converting the anchor point to smooth, and then holding down Alt to break the handlebar in half. And once it's broken, you can let go, and then I can alter those handlebars independently. For the E, all I want y'all to do is to try to create bumps on the letter E. So we're using the same method that we just used for the horns, except for now we're adding anchor points, and we're raising those bumps basically like warts or something. So I'm using the direct selection tool to move these anchor points up. You can see that these are corners because there are no handlebars. So the same exact process here. I'm just adding or converting the anchor point to smooth, which adds handlebars that I can use to dictate the rounded or the curved shape of things. So this is how I'm adding warts, and I would continue to go until the entire E has warts all over it. For the letter D, what I'm going to do is I'm going to punch holes in this using the shape builder tool. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to make circles that overlap the D. And then I'm going to select all of those shapes by pulling the selection tool, the black arrow tool, to select all of those shapes all at once. I'm using the shape builder tool and holding down Alt and clicking inside of those circles to punch holes through the letter D, kind of like Swiss cheese. I also wanted to show you real quickly how to cut through a letter, and to do that there's several ways to cut a shape in half, or however you want to cut it. But a couple of the ways that I wanted to show you were here, the knife tool. Inside of the eraser tool gallery, the knife tool can be used to click and drag across an item, and then you can use the knife tool can be used to cut shapes in half. You select the shape, use the knife tool, start outside of the shape and go all the way through it, and then you have a slice there, and then you just use the selection tool, deselect it, select the piece, and then you can move it. There's another way to cut shapes in half. If you use the eraser tool, that's also in the same place here. The eraser tool can be used to go across a shape, select the shape first, use the eraser tool to erase away a part of it, and then that piece that you cut off, it's going to be a separate item so that you can move it and do things like that. Alright, so enjoy this, play around, and figure out cool ways to mutate the word. Please go ahead and finish up these using these tools, and then color everything. Thanks a lot for watching.